So over the last couple of months, I've put out a few videos talking about California's COVID-19 restrictions that were put in place by Governor Newsome, and I talked about how some of them seem to be unfairly targeting religious services in a way that didn't seem to be equally applicable to non-religious gatherings or businesses. Some of the bans actually seem to be singling out religious services. This was made even worse when Governor Newsome claimed to be banning these large religious gatherings because he wanted to slow the spread of coronavirus, while also at the same time encouraging people to go out and protest during the George Floyd situation. And not to mention, pictures of him have surfaced recently with him with a large group of people inside of a restaurant where nobody was wearing masks. Now, let us not forget that this is the same guy who banned large gatherings in order to protect people. And of course, as I mentioned in a video a couple of days ago, he also is allowing strip clubs to operate, but not churches. So in response to the religious people who pointed out these inconsistencies, some people said that the religious people are just suffering from persecution complex because in reality, there weren't any facts to substantiate the claim of religious persecution. Well, today, the Supreme Court actually sided with the Christian ministry that I mentioned in my recent video on how California banned in-home Bible studies. As USA Today says, the Supreme Court ordered California judges Thursday to follow its lead in blocking stringent coronavirus restrictions on houses of worship, as the High Court did in a New York case last week. The justice's unsigned order sending a California church's challenge back to lower courts will likely stop Governor Newsome from prohibiting most indoor religious services. Religious groups have complained that indoor worship services are completely prohibited for 99.1% of Californians, while food packing and processing, laundromats and warehouses have no capacity limits, liquor and grocery stores have a 50% capacity, and big box centers, shopping malls, laundromats, and destination centers have a 25% capacity. The arguments made by Harvest Rock Church in California mirrored those mounted by Catholic and Orthodox Jewish congregants against New York Governor Andrew Cuomo's restrictions. The High Court ruled 5-4 last month that limiting houses of worship to 10 or 25 worshipers in hard-hit regions of the state likely violated the First Amendment's free exercise clause. Even in a pandemic, the Constitution cannot be put away and forgotten, the court's unsigned majority opinion said. The restrictions at issue here, by effectively barring many from attending religious services, strike at the very heart of the First Amendment's guarantee of religious liberty. And it goes on. I'll go ahead and leave a few articles down below in the description in case you want to read more about it. So now when it comes to this whole situation, my whole thing is it's kind of like Twitter. I don't really care what the rules are as long as they're willing to fairly hold everyone accountable to them. What I don't like seeing is that all of the rule making is based off of some people's personal preference and using that as a standard to single out people that you don't like or that you disagree with ideologically. So to get the backstory on the church and why they decided to take action and take this to court, go ahead and check out this video where I talk about it, and I also talk about what the suit was all about. And the next time you hear that Newsome is claiming that religious bans are only put in place in order to protect religious people, what are you going to say?
What do you mean?